Imagine this: billions of dollars meant to fix Nigeria's dying refineries may have simply vanished. Now, the man once trusted to lead the nation's most powerful oil corporation, Mele Kyari, is under the hot lights of EFCC interrogation. Could this be Nigeria's biggest oil scandal yet? On September 10, 2025, Abuja witnessed what many are calling the most high-profile anti-corruption interrogation in years. Mele Kyari, former Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, walked into the EFCC headquarters around 2:15 p.m., facing questions tied to $7.2 billion allocated for refinery turnaround maintenance projects. This wasn't a routine chat. According to EFCC insiders, investigators came prepared with documents, financial records, and testimonies from insiders who had already given damning accounts of how funds were allegedly diverted. The once respected technocrat, praised for his energy sector expertise, now faces the possibility of standing trial for mismanagement, money laundering, or worse. Why the EFCC is interested: following the money. This probe has been building momentum for months. Earlier, the EFCC had placed Mele Kyari on its watch list, restricting his international movement, obtained a court order to freeze 4 bank accounts linked to him and a foundation suspected to be a front, interrogated key associates about suspicious financial flows. Justice Emeka White of the Federal High Court granted an ex parte order freezing the accounts for 30 days. Within them, EFCC discovered deposits totaling 661 million Nigerian nairas, disguised as payments for book launches and NGO activities under Guwari Community Development Foundation. Investigators believe these funds represent just a fraction of larger misappropriations. Turnaround maintenance, a never-ending black hole. To understand the gravity of this scandal, we must revisit Nigeria's decades-long refinery saga. Nigeria owns 4 refineries, 2 in Port Harcourt, 1 in Warri, and 1 in Kaduna. Combined, they should refine 445,000 barrels per day, enough to meet domestic demand. Instead, they've been practically moribund, forcing Nigeria, ironically Africa's largest crude oil producer, to import over 90% of its fuel. Billions have been spent on turnaround maintenance, TAM, projects since the 1990s. Contracts are awarded to local and foreign firms for overhauls, yet the plants remain idle. For many Nigerians, TAM has become shorthand for corruption. Mele Kyari, during his tenure, championed a $7.2 billion TAM program, promising full refinery recovery. But with little visible progress and fuel import bills still ballooning, suspicions grew. The EFCC now wants to know, where did the money go? A pattern of waste and impunity. This isn't the first time refinery maintenance has been shrouded in controversy. In 2019, reports showed over 10 billion Nigerian nairas spent on staff salaries at non-functional refineries. Between 2017 and 2021, the refineries recorded losses exceeding 600 billion Nigerian nairas, even without producing a drop of fuel. Multiple administrations have promised revival, yet every cycle ends with ballooning costs and zero results. The Kyari investigation could reveal if the latest round of TAM spending was genuinely for technical work, or if it followed the same corrupt pattern. Why this case could be different? Several factors suggest this probe may not fizzle out like past cases. Political will. With Nigeria in an economic crisis, the government is under pressure to show accountability in the oil sector. Frozen accounts. Unlike past cases, EFCC already has a financial trail to follow, making it harder to bury evidence. Public outrage. Nigerians are furious at rising fuel prices, refinery failures, and endless subsidies. Public sentiment demands justice. If the investigation proceeds transparently, it could be a turning point for Nigeria's anti-corruption fight. Possible fallout. For Mele Kyari, he could face prosecution for fraud, money laundering, or misappropriation of public funds. If convicted, the case may serve as a precedent against high-level oil sector corruption. For NNPCL, the scandal could weaken investor confidence just as the company seeks private partnerships to boost production and refine locally. For Nigeria, If proven that $7.2 billion was squandered, it would represent a catastrophic loss for a nation struggling with inflation, unemployment, and fuel scarcity. Can Nigeria break the cycle? The deeper issue here is systemic. Experts argue that unless Nigeria privatizes refineries completely or allows credible international partnerships, implements strict financial audits of all oil sector contracts, holds individuals accountable through prosecution, not political deals, the cycle of waste will continue, regardless of who sits at the top. The arrival of Dangote Refinery, privately owned and nearing full operation, highlights the contrast. While state refineries remain dormant despite billions sunk, Dangote has managed to build Africa's largest single-train refinery. The comparison is not lost on Nigerians. Summary of the scandal. Main actor Mele Kyari, former GCEO of NNPCL. Funds in question $7.2 billion refinery turnaround maintenance program. Court action. EFCC obtained freeze orders on 4 accounts linked to Kyari. Alleged red flags. Funds disguised as NGO are book launch payments. Public impact. Refineries remain idle. Nigeria still imports 90% of refined petroleum. Potential consequence. Trial. Loss of investor confidence. Exposure of systemic corruption. The big picture. This case is more than a corruption probe. It's a litmus test for Nigeria's fight against oil sector rot. For decades, the oil industry has been both the country's blessing and its curse, financing development while fueling corruption. If EFCC holds Mele Kyari accountable, it could send a powerful signal that no official is above scrutiny. If not, it risks becoming yet another chapter in Nigeria's long book of squandered oil wealth. Final thoughts. The grilling of Mele Kyari represents a moment of truth for Nigeria. Will this be the start of genuine reform in the oil industry, or just another headline that fades into memory? For ordinary Nigerians, the outcome could determine whether they keep paying exorbitant prices at the pump, or finally see the dream of working refineries and cheaper fuel come true. One thing is certain, the world is watching, and so are Nigerians.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this update and want to stay informed with fast, reliable news, don't forget to subscribe to Newsflash 360. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a story. Your next headline is just seconds away.